Good morning. Nice to be here. Nice to be able to hear, not taking it for granted, but being aware of our ability to hear, of our auditory nerve, of our inner ear, of our cochlea, of our eardrums, and of our ears. Millions of years to put this all together. Didn't happen overnight. And certainly we shouldn't be assuming that it's just something that is, when the awareness of it is a means of being humble before all that we really don't quite understand or think about. We take for granted these things. Maybe our whole life we take for granted, our whole life, or our eyesight, or our mobility, or our ability to hear. Being here now, in this moment, we are together thinking about these things. As we are pondering these questions inside of ourselves, we are sharing these ideas about the attributes of a Homo sapien. We are profoundly fortunate to have received this gift of life. If we look at it in a short-sighted and a very narrow-focused manner, which is the prevalent way to do so, it's just another day and another life. It's been going on for millions of years. But if we look at it from a macrocosmic perspective and consider it in the sense of evolution, of the evolution of our universe, of our solar system, of our sun, of just this one planet, Earth, then the dialogue has an opportunity to change. The dial of perception is able to be opened wider. We, in turn, can discern more. It is as if we are taking the focus and increasing it. We are creating a telescope, so to speak, with a much greater focal area. The universe, rather than just one life. Thinking about ourselves in this way. Why would one choose to have this kind of perception, if for no other reason, just to play, to be curious, to wonder about what it is to think in different ways? Think about the way that we usually perceive ourselves as we are going about our daily tasks, our chores, our responsibilities, or in the ways that we consider as play. What are we doing? And why? Thomas Wilson, the famous 16th century rhetorician, came up with the concept of 6 questions, and he enumerated them in the year 1560 in one of his presentations. The 6 questions are composed of 5 words of W beginnings and 1 word with H. The 5 W's I've broken down into 3 longer W's and 3 shorter W's. The 3 longer: what, when, and where. These are questions. The 2 shorter are why and who. And the 1 H is how. So when one is examining or dissecting a subject and wants to research it in more depth, more thoroughly. One way to do this is to ask these 6 questions about and how they are concerning what we're speaking about, whatever the subject is. Sometimes things don't necessarily have a time. So when may not be as important sometimes. Maybe other times it is, even more. Or where. Maybe positioning is not as valuable as why or how or who or what. It is for the individual to determine these different questions, and as one is considering something, to value each one of the questions in one's pursuit. Being here presently. When? Now. Oh, okay. And what are we doing? We are looking at ourselves to process what it means to be oneself. What are we doing? What are we actually accomplishing in our moments as they flow in the concept of time? We're breathing. We're carrying on bodily functions. We're assimilating this information through our senses, through our hearing or auditory nerves, into our minds. And simultaneously with this, we're, as said, breathing. Our blood is circulating. Our body is vibrationally alive. We're thinking. Energy is being received as well as transmitted. One's heat, one's thoughts, one's movements. Well, there's a lot going on. This is not just this moment now, it is in every moment. But now we are considering these things. So we have our focus in alignment to be more aware of these simple, repeated 86,400 times a day kinds of things. Not taken for granted now, but considered. This is mindful meditation. If one just wants to meditate, which is a great way for one to begin, then it can be all about calming one's breath, calming one's mind, being comfortable, undisturbed, and just focusing on these things. As one develops this initial sense of concentration, finding you begin to excel at this capability, at this practice that you're developing. And you ask yourself in a further inquiry, well, what about this? What more can I accomplish? What more is there to consider? And possibly my mind, as much as I am feeling relaxed and making an effort to carry on and build a habit and a practice, same thing. Maybe one is still disturbed, finding distractions rising in one's mind. Oh, I got this to do. And what about this? What is one to do then? Or what can one do? What is a solution that I can utilize to help myself find even a greater sense of focus and concentration on being more mindful, of being more aware? Help is on its way. It is not me doing this, originating these thoughts. These thoughts have been discussed for thousands of years all of the spiritual traditions we as humans share. It's not new news, spirituality. There are many distinct and wonderful ideas, stories that have been prepared by the proponents of each of these religions. Valuable, world-changing traditions initiated, brought into being for millions and millions of people. This is what's been here. This is what's been here before. Today, in this year of 2026, in many ways we are more familiar with and know more about the actual physical world that we are in, science, and utilizing what we have learned in the past and expanding it into the future or up until this time now, utilizing this knowledge already acquired. We have so much more. We have the James Webb telescope, for instance, that's hanging out in an Earth orbit looking at the universe which surrounds our orb. And we are finding there does not seem to be an end of the universe. It continues on and on. In no particular direction, in all directions. Remember being here now, breathing, being aware of one's pulse, being aware of the action that these two together stimulate. In a word, life. And knowing what the result of this stimulation becomes. It becomes one's vibration, one's cellular activity. It's alive, 37 trillion cells. Being here now. 37 trillion cells saying thank you in a celebration. Ecstatic is a possibility. Undulating as a result of the process of respiration and circulation. Undulating one's body. Undulating with the force of one's pulse as it's careening through one's vascular system. Because in some aspect, this is what's going on. We pulse about 60 times every minute. Every moment we pulse, more or less. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It's an average. And we breathe about 15 to 20,000 times a day. So between these two, we have a lot of activity going on that's being correlated in every moment of our lives, not to be taken for granted if we choose this path of helping ourselves become more focused and aware. Being present in one's circumstances, comfortable, undisturbed, thinking about physiology, thinking about something as simple as one's thermal energy, knowing where it's coming from and why. All of these different things that we are discussing are attributable to something from somewhere. Mindfully, we are considering these things in our own individual searches for a better understanding of evolution, of just whom we are, right? One of the 6 questions. Who are you? Why? It is a product of evolution. Evolution is going from simple, primordial energy of creation into all the complex elements and compounds and what have you that have occurred since this Big Bang 14 approximate billion years ago. Complexity is the name of the game. How has this occurred? Questions asked, answers being found. Presently, we are on a course we're not even sure of. From one day to the next, we need to reinforce and reevaluate our foundation. The world around us is struggling, oscillating, as correctly it does as a form of energy, because it all boils down to this primal energy we've just discussed. In everything, there is a commonality of this energy. So, it's in oscillation, like ourselves, like our thoughts, like our days. Everything is working within the context of the same basic laws, the fundamental, the foundations. We're trying to understand our own foundation as Homo sapiens. The closer we can come to this goal, you might say the wiser and more mature we become, the more capable we are to make better decisions. Not to say that that's what's going to always occur. There is a difference between nimbleness and impulsiveness. Being here now. Realizing one is a bundle of miracles, because we are, not because of my words. Realizing that one should be and can be humbled, feeling in awe of all we are in discussion of, because we want to, number one, but number two, because this immensity begins with the immensity of one's own being, of millions of generations embedded in the software or the hardware DNA each of us possesses, our unique circumstances. And then considering from the tip of one's own nose, because everything behind your nose is you or I, to the ends of the universe that the James Webb Telescope tells us is not quite in sight. Being in awe is a great means of reinforcing and propelling one's own search for self-knowledge, for self-understanding, an incentive to feel oneself undulate and shimmer, to feel oneself ecstatically vibrating, to be in awe. These feelings, concepts, and ideas are not just for one or another of our religions or spiritual traditions. It is for all. The depth, the complexity, the lineage of creation. That's all one needs. As we currently have the good fortune to understand them, and I'm sure by no means do we understand hardly anything at all, but yet we certainly know more than we did 1,000 years ago in many ways, or 2,000 years ago, or 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. It's a different world. Thankful. Great to be humble. Great to be here now. Also very important to be thankful, because what does this connotate, being thankful? A sense of appreciation. And what does a sense of appreciation mean? Gratitude for having this opportunity to be alive. The music continues for another minute. Please ponder, linger, consider how incredible you are, and how much more we can accomplish together. To thine own self be true. Know thyself. Namaste.